Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Halal Mart, the Muslim shopping mall. This video will guide you on how to register as a vendor on Halal Mart and set up your stores for business. This video is also targeting those who are using their mobile devices such as the iPad or their mobile phones to access the website. So if you're using your mobile devices, you should see the website display in this format. A very quick overview on navigating this website. On this very icon here, we click on that to reveal the menu options. We have the home, the shop, business directory and login. Under the shop, when you click on this, it takes you to the product pages, the wish list and my order for users like the customers to always log in to track their orders and confirm. The business directory is where you can look up for services rendered by other users, and you can also register to advertise your business and services. The login here is only for customers to log in to track their orders and not for vendors. Vendors are not to log in from here. To find a product, click on here and type on the product you have in mind and click on the search button, or you can as well go through the all categories section to choose from the category you wish to see the kind of products displayed in these categories. Now let's go straight to the registration process for the vendors. To register as a vendor on Halal Mart's website, scroll down to the bottom of the page. Under Vendors Useful Links, click on Vendors Registration. On the Vendors Registration page, you have different plans to choose from. The first plan is the premium plan of 6,000 Naira yearly. On this plan, you are not charged a commission on sales. There are no commission charges, unlimited products. Your product will be featured on the first page and special support. Product adverts are paid for. The next plan is a standard plan of 3,000 Naira yearly, and we have all these features attached to it. The other plan is a basic plan of 1,000 Naira yearly with 5% commission on your charges, on your sales. And the last plan here is the free plan. No payment is required on registration, but you have 10% commission charges on every sales. We will demonstrate the payment pages or payment method on the paid plan to see how this works out actually. If you're intending to go for any of the paid plans, assuming we're using the 6,000 Naira plan, click on subscribe now. You are to fill out the forms you see on this registration page. But for the purpose of this video, we want to use the free registration plan, so we don't have to make any payments. I will navigate back to the previous page. The last plan here, which is the free plan, has 0 Naira for payment and 10% commission. Click on subscribe now to choose this plan. Fill out the forms, your first name and your last name. The store name is the name that will be displayed for your customers to see. For example, Al-Fatih store is what I want to name my store. This is the address of your store, which you can always advertise to people. So when you want to share the link of your store on any social media, you will always want to copy this and keep somewhere, so you can always paste it to them. So when they click on this link, they go straight to your store and they can have your product seen. You must enter your address of your store. The country, Nigeria. The zip code is your city code. You should know your city code, but if you are not sure of your city code, then simply enter 23400. It has to be 5-digit codes. Note that the fields that are shaded in red asterisks are compulsory, without which the form will not be submitted. The town and city is Port Harcourt, where I currently reside, and the state. Choose the state where you currently reside for your business and your phone number for your store. This is the number your customers will always use to reach you if they have an issue or if they have a complaint on your product you give them. You are to select an option here if you are a Muslim or not. And you have to choose yes or no if you will abide by the rules and regulation. You can always find these rules and regulation right here before you make a decision. If the rules are in conformity with your desire, then you can go ahead and click on the yes. Otherwise, you can choose no. And if you choose no, your application will not be accepted. We need you to enter your emergency contact number in case in situations where your phone number is not reachable or you cannot be contacted for one reason or the other and the customers need you so they can call someone else for assistance. Set up your password which you want to use to access your store. Confirm the password. Click on the agree. You have to read this to be very sure of what you're agreeing. These are the terms and conditions of using the website as a vendor or as a buyer. And if you are not comfortable with this, please do not register. Let's go back to our registration page. After reading the terms and conditions, we can now choose the agree and click on register. We have some fields here that have not been filled out, so we need to complete these before we continue with the registration. And I have not entered my username, email, and verification code, so we need to go there up, and you will see this shaded in red. It means they are necessary. I choose this to be my username, my email address. Once you enter your email address and click on this, a verification code will be sent automatically to your email address. And if your email address is correct and active, you should receive a code within 5 minutes. It's usually instant, depending on your service provider or your network services. So we'll go check our email for this code. I will need to pause this video to come back later once I get the email address, once I get the code in my email address. Okay, I have received my email verification code, and I'll enter my email verification code from my email address. It is a 6-digit code that must be entered accurately. When you've done this, scroll back to the bottom and click on register. You might choose to accept this or you can choose not this. If you already use an email that is associated with a Halal Mart shop, you will have this message. This email already exists, so we need to change the email address to something else. And once you do that, another verification code will be sent to that email address you'll be changing to. Alright, a new verification code has been sent to the new email address, so we just have to wait for the email to drop and then get the code. I have not received my verification code. It's taking some time, but if you have this kind of issue, always click on the resend code and wait for the code to drop again. Alright, finally the code was sent. I actually saw my code in my spam folder, so you always make sure to check in your spam or junk folder if you do not find the code in your inbox. Now you enter the code and scroll down to the page where you have Register and click on register. Registration successfully completed. Now this tells us that the free plan, no payment option, and we just have to click proceed to confirm the registration of the page. Subscription successfully completed. Once you've done that, you should have this message telling you you have successfully subscribed to our membership plan. Your account registration is currently under review and you will receive details in your registered email very soon. Click here to proceed to the next thing. Always follow the instruction you see on the page because they are very useful. Click on that link and let's see where it takes us to. Yeah, it takes us to the training page. Now, basically, when you register as a vendor, the next thing is for you to be trained on how to set up your store and add your products and make sales. So these videos are very useful for you to do. The admin will actually receive your registration and approve the registration if it meets with the guidelines of the registration processes, if you have supplied the required information. And we'll come back to check when the admin has approved our registration. You will always need to check out your emails to know when your application has been approved. So I'll quickly go to my mail and see I just received a mail that I have a successful login registration. So let's read the mail. It's coming from Halal Mart and it says successfully subscribed. It says welcome to the store, dear Muhammad. You have successfully subscribed to our membership plan. Your account already set up and ready to configure. So we now know that our account has been approved, and so for you to go to your store, scroll down to the bottom of the page where you have the vendors useful links. Click on vendor login to access your page or your store. In most cases, you will always come by this, just refresh the page. If that don't work, go back to the page and click on the home page. Click on the home page. And after then, you come back to that link and click on the vendor login. Now you'll be successfully logged into your page and you can see your store is displaying your name and tells you the free plan you're on. And these should be a summary of all the activities that will be happening on your store when you make sales. The accounts records will be here displayed for you, and the charts and all the analytics that you need to see. And then that is about setting up your about registration. And the next thing you want to do is to set up your store, give a store a logo and the rest of those. To do that, click on this icon here that says profile. Under the personal, your avatar is the icon, is the picture you will always find here. So you can decide to choose a picture for yourself. Click on select files and it's going to bring it to your directory of the phone where you have pictures. You can choose from any image you have on your system or on your phone to set up as your avatar. I can decide to use this as my avatar. When that has been fully uploaded, click on choose image. That image you see here will always show up here when you log onto your page. Everything remains the same. And if you are watching this video and you had registered when the verification system was not in place, you'll be required to click on the verification code here to input your verification code. And with that, you can give a description about yourself or about your store, and also your address needs to be properly entered. These are all the things you already entered at the point of registration. You might also want to set your Facebook, Snapchat, and your Instagram, Twitter pages handlers here that will be displayed on your store so people can always follow you. Your membership display will be always shown here. Your next of kin contact will always be here. The admins will always contact your next of kin if you are unreachable to fulfill a product or to know when something is going wrong with your store. And when you've done that, click on the save button to save the changes you have just made. And after that, you will need to click on the settings here to set up your store banner and your store logo. Remember, what you put in here was not your store logo, but rather it's that image you will always see here as your avatar. These will tell you the progress of setup of your store that needs to be completed or which you have completed already. The next thing we want to set up our logo, which our customers will always see from the front end when they make orders. I want to put a logo up there for my store. I'm assuming this to be my logo, so I will choose that MSSN logo as my logo for the purpose of this video. I will take it off later and choose that to put up the logo here. And the next thing you want to do is to set up a banner that will be displayed on your store. Remember, the size of that picture needs to be, the size of the banner needs to be very large. I will decide to use this. I can choose to use any of these, but you should use something that is unique to your business. I'm just using this randomly for the purpose of showing you how to go about setting up this up, and that will come up here as the banner, and later we'll see how it displays from the front end. Now store this banner. If you're using a mobile phone or if your customers are using a mobile phone, they will not be seeing this, but rather they'll be seeing whatever image you put up here. This will only be displayed for the users on their computer or their laptops, but this will be displayed for the users using a mobile phone. So if you do not put a picture here, the users on mobile phones will not see any image displayed for your store. So we'll choose something. I will choose the same thing here if I want them to see that, and also choose the mobile banner, the same thing if I want them to see that. So you can decide to use a different display image here for a view on the computer and a different image here for the view on the mobile phone. Everything remains the same. You can give it a short description about your products. What are the things you do? What are the things you actually sell? You can say, oh, groceries, all groceries, and everything remains the same here. You can choose to hide your phone number, which is not recommended, and you can also choose to hide your address, which is also not recommended. You can choose to hide your email address from the store if you're receiving spam from customers, but it is not recommended because your customers might want to contact you directly. Do not forget to set up your payment where you receive your money after you make sales from Halal Mart. The payment system here is only visible to Halal Mart and not the public or the customers. This is where the money you sell will be coming in. And the shipping, leave it as is. Click on the save button to continue. And this is where we stop for this very video. The next video will be showing us how to load our products to start selling. So we check on the next video on products upload.